It refers to the financial plan of the government for a specific period of time, usually a year. The government budget includes both revenue and expenditure components, which are managed by the government to achieve various economic objectives. The revenue component of the government budget includes all the money that the government receives from various sources such as taxes, duties, fees, fines, etc. The expenditure component of the government budget includes all the money that the government spends on various projects and programs such as infrastructure development, social welfare programs, defense, education, health, etc. The government budget plays an important role in the overall economic development of a country. It helps to allocate resources efficiently, promote economic growth, and ensure social welfare. Therefore, it is important to study the government budget in detail to understand its components, objectives, and impact on the economy. Some important topics related to government budget are: 1. Types of government budget: balanced, surplus, and deficit budget. 2. Components of government budget: revenue receipts, capital receipts, revenue expenditure, and capital expenditure. 3. Objectives of government budget: allocation of resources, promotion of economic growth, price stability, redistribution of income, and social welfare. 4. Fiscal policy, its objectives, instruments, and limitations. 5. Public debt, its meaning, types, and management. The government budget can be divided into two parts. Revenue budget. This includes the revenue receipts and revenue expenditures of the government. Revenue receipts are the income received by the government in the form of taxes, duties, fines, fees, etc. Revenue expenditures are the expenses incurred by the government for its day-to-day functioning, such as salaries, pensions, subsidies, interest payments, etc. Capital budget. This includes the capital receipts and capital expenditures of the government. Capital receipts are the income received by the government in the form of loans, borrowings, disinvestment, etc. Capital expenditures are the expenses incurred by the government for the creation of assets such as roads, bridges, dams, schools, hospitals, etc. The receipts of the government in a budget can be broadly categorized into two types. 1. Revenue receipts. These are the receipts that arise from the day-to-day operations of the government. 1. They can be further divided into two subcategories. A. Tax revenue. This includes receipts from taxes levied by the government such as income tax, corporate tax, goods and services tax, GST, customs and excise duties, and so on. B. Non-tax revenue. This includes receipts from sources other than taxes such as interest on loans given by the government, dividends from public sector enterprises, fees and fines, etc. 1. Capital receipts. These are the receipts that arise from the sale of assets or borrowings. 1. They can be further divided into two subcategories. A. Recovery of loans. This includes the amount recovered from loans given by the government to various entities. B. Borrowings. This includes the amount borrowed by the government from various sources such as the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, domestic and foreign markets, international financial institutions, etc. It is important to note that the budget receipts of a government vary from country to country and depend on the economic policies adopted by the government. In general, the expenditure of the government can be divided into two main categories: capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure refers to the spending by the government on acquiring assets such as buildings, roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. This type of expenditure is usually meant to enhance the long-term productive capacity of the economy and is funded by borrowing or by the sale of government assets. Revenue expenditure, on the other hand, refers to the day-to-day expenses incurred by the government in running its various programs and services. This includes salaries and wages of government employees, expenses related to education, healthcare, and other social welfare programs, and other recurring expenses. This type of expenditure is usually funded by taxes and other sources of government revenue.